IBB Radio, not art show, episode 6. Welcome. 6 months, 1/2 year of the Not Art Radio Show. Not art. How am I knotting the threads together? How am I not making arts? What kind of threads do I actually use? Are they not threads or are they threads to knot? What materials do I use instead? And how does the web, the network look like? Have you got some kind of image now as 5 months have passed? For the 6th episode, I take you with me and Kiran on a trip to Porto and Vigo in Spain and Portugal, where I was visiting some dearest friends and we were discovering very interesting stories together while traveling. In Porto, for example, I was mentioning that the next step was Vigo, and the niece of my dear friend Hubertine immediately remembered a beautiful beach in the area that I should go to. Praia de Silgar, she said. A beautiful place. Showing me some pictures, she recommended me to go to one specific place where there was an impressive statue of a mermaid-like figure. And I asked her if she knew the myth, of course, or story behind it, but that she did not. So I went researching the internet and found out it is a mixed figure. Certainly not a mermaid, but a mix of local characters, especially the MAURAS, and that's a Galician mermaid of the Atlantic Ocean, and the Maura, a mythical woman who appears next to waters and or rocks, stones, caves. And I will talk a bit with one of my Brazilian friends I am visiting on these trips, Nayara Homen. She is an international artist, having lived in Spain, Mozambique. She is an actress for theater and film, a writer as well, and a cultural producer. And currently, actually, she is doing her research PhD about a specific religious dance of Mozambique, Gule. And next to the fact that she's a wonderful artist and friend, she is also a mother, and a very special mother in my opinion, because we were both pregnant at the same time. We were actually both in Brazil. We were visiting her, or them, she and her husband, in Brazil when I was pregnant, but I didn't know it, and neither did she. And after 3 months, when I had my first echo or ultrasound, I sent it over, and then 2 days later I got an echo back from a baby in the same size, more or less. And in the end, really, Kiran is born 2 days before Tamara Yara. So now we are visiting each other for the first time, or we are meeting each other for the first time, those two small babies in real life. So that's even more special this occasion. As I said, we went, and as Praia de Silgar is so far away, we decided that we go to the dolmen de Candean, Casa dos Máuras, which was only 15 minutes away from their home. As for the background, you will hear the voices of the Skald opera. I was recording the sounds of the waiting station waiting to cross the river, the Schelde in Antwerp. You will also hear music out of a sound installation in Vigo while Nayara was showing the city, and some of the ambient noises of the forest around Casa dos Máuras. Before I give word to Nayara, I want to mention I was recording with this field recorder, and Kiran was very much interested in the microphone. So you will hear two noisy sounds recording his attraction to the microphone. I have tried to diminish it a little bit, but it is overwhelming. We are now here on the site of Casa dos Mouros in Vigo. I was very happy to notice that this tomb, Casa dos Mouros, means the house of the Mouros, was so close by, so we ended up to visit this place. The funny thing as well is that what I see now are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rocks, and they are dolmens. And this used to be completely buried under earth, although we are quite on a mountain here. It was a very steep route to get here. And then they call them Mámoas, from Latin mamula, breast, little breasts. That's a very interesting story as well. I will tell you later.
Thank you for inviting me, Fiona. It's such honor to be here with you in such special place. We're here by the side of this Mámoa. It's a new thing for me. It's super nice to have this kind of visit, challenging you to know different places and see different things in your own city.
Yeah. Yes.
And to me, something that I would like to say about this place, it's how the circle shapes are so strong and so important and so feminine and related with that, with the feminine side of the life. And to me it was very interesting because we give birth, so we create lives, and we are connected with that sign of life, give life, give birth. So here we have a circle shape, a feminine shape related with the breasts, and related also with the end of the life, because it's a morgue territory. So the end of the life and the beginning of the life related with the feminine side, with this shape, circle shapes. To me it was very nice and surprising to realize about that here in Vigo, and in a very strong way, because it's rock. It's a very, very solid way to materialize that ideas. Be surrounded about the Celta culture. It's very special for me, and it's a intuitive side of my life also, because one part of came here was the pure intuition about it, and came here and found here the Celta culture, and discover each day a special place, a different references of be connected with the nature. It's something very, it was a happy choice, I think, come here and start to discover these references here and these connections here. And we had right now the San João, in Galego, San Juan de Fiesta. What I mix many languages right now. the San Juan party, and was very special because they celebrate here with the solstice, no? The solstice, yeah, and they connected that with many herbs and plants they have here, and they have traditions traditions with that, to collect these plants, to do a kind of cleaning with the water of fountains around here. So many traditions mixed, and it was very interesting because in our country, in Brazil, in the northeast part of Brazil, we have a strong tradition about São João, and we have many of these kind of symbols, but they lost a little this straight and significance related with this part of, how can I say, pagan, yeah, this pagan part. We still having fire. It's a very strong also sign, the fireplaces, for example, and the corn is very important, but they are there in a very subtle way. Not that, not exactly that pride way, more in the sublimes, more in a subtle way. So it's very nice to be here and start to discover this culture and these signs and all these circle shapes.
The element of the breast, the mamua, the mamula, is very interesting. And I was asking ChatGPT about this. Why the breast, actually? Because just like a small hill, a round hill, it could be anything, but why exactly they call it breast? And then ChatGPT said, well, there are, of course, here now the scientific reasons, and there are the folkloric reasons that they are separated. Because they said, like, you will not find on the tomb or on the stones a sign or a word of this we call breast. The name breast comes way later, comes like in the Middle Ages, when they have found the first time, it was, oh, I'm so bad with numbers, but it was somewhere in the Middle Ages, that they were referring to it as a landmark, as a topological place. So from the sea until the breast-shaped mountain, and so nothing more. So it was really like as a clear, objective name. Everybody knew, it's that place. And then, of course, like, why? It's so interesting to see where archaeology meets the folkloric interpretations. Because you have the scientists, and they were doing these excavations here to find also the entrance. What we are looking at now is really like the tomb. It's the chamber of death. And it was covered. So we are now here on the mountain, but it was all, on top of it, it was still covered. They have found the entrance as well. And the entrance to the chamber of the dead is very important as well, because it's like the transition. The transition, sorry, yeah, thank you, of the life part and the death. And then why do they call it the breast again? Like, and then it's many folkloric ideas, and out of these folkloric ideas come the stories that it is called, so we are back again, it's called the Casa dos MAURAS. And these MAURAS are told, these creatures, these women or men who were living inside of stones, inside of mountains, inside of caves, and they held treasures. Sometimes gold, sometimes we don't know what it was. And but then later on, when it was discovered that the people in the surroundings, they were looking at it, and so you have the strength of the feminine. And the breast as a symbol of, yes, giving life, because as we know very well, these babies don't survive without milk, without the breasts. And so it is also, this is a very interesting thing, how they were giving the chamber of death actually the name of breast, which is life-giving. So it goes back to the theory that this transition is, yes, it's where the dead, they go to a new life. So that's why they called it the breast, maybe. And also just because of the shape, of course. But then I asked ChatGPT as well, like, okay, are there other places on the world, like tombs, where they have these breast-shaped tombs? And then they said, and it's also called breast. And then he said, no, there are other places with these tombs, but they have all different kind of names, but not breasts. It's something very typical for this space, this area here, which I also found very interesting.
And we are here right now with our sons.
Yes.
And give
breastfeeding
them.
Yes.
Yes. Having this special
life
presence here.
In my most recent production here in Galician, Vigo, Garcia Lorca's Clay Blood Wedding, I played the role of the mother. Here we did a translation for the Galego language, what was denied. In the first scene, the director asked me to stand at a table, and I really felt strange at the first time because they brought me a square table and they placed it on like a tablecloth, very bright, like white tablecloth, which made it look like a real block in front of me and was too big for the action also. So after the rehearsal, I spoke with the director, who was always an excellent person about the communication with me, about everything. And we really spoke about the possible meanings of this table there. So big and so bright and like a block, and the significances. And at the end of the process, the table was replaced with a round one, which gave us, to me and my colleagues in the scene, this freedom sensation to sit down, stand up, go around, and encourage the dialogues. And for me, it was also the symbol of the feminine there at the house, this uterus of the family, this place to be and talk and change information and change sensations. And the scene made much more sense to me. So I like to do this kind of connections when I go around, to watch the world, to see around me, to find these historic places, and so pay attention in the shapes, in the material, the significances that go through the human being history. So the legends and the histories, they are full of this kind of symbols, and it's very nice when we bring it on to the scene, this kind of references. So to me it's very important to reflect it about these circle shapes, these surround areas, and bring it on to the scene, so you can give for the audience that kind of perspective in much more layers, and they can understand the text, but they can also feel in many, many layers everything you put in the scene as a symbol with significances, with history, and with purpose. So the same goes about my connection with the sea, because I see the complexity of the ocean. I just see how deep the characters are, and how deep the ocean are, and not predictable. And I see the people in this way. So I do my characters as a mirror of the ocean, of the sea. No one is simple good or bad. The villain loves someone. The girl, which is the heroine, she has her flaws, and people go through phases and cycles, and they're influenced, and they influence also others. And it's the same about the sea, the ocean. And I have this kind of relation with the sea, to have these conversations and try to figure out about life, about death, about everything that surround us. And I really try to go with respect. So this deep, when you go deep in the art, you feel the same. You feel the same. Everything is not just that simple. It's not just one face. So feel everything you do in art with these many layers, many waves, just as the sea, the ocean. And try to feel with the cycles and phases also. And it's also a reference about the feminine side. And I have this profound, profound relation with the sea. In Brazil, in Bahia, we have this Afro-Brazilian religion of is the Candomblé, and my head, my mind, and spirit, it's Yemanja totally, and it's a Orisha that is the queen of the sea, and also considered the great mother. Yeye Umoja in the Yoruba language means mother whose children are fish. So I love here in Vigo, we have this profound connection also with the ocean, and with the Celtic culture inside that. And when I was walking around with Fiona, we faced with a lot of sculptures at the city about shells, seashells, mermaids, mermen, and sea workers also. And it's very nice be in one seat, surround about this significances, these connections, and try to bring that also into our art.
Thank you, Nayara. These are greetings from Antwerp as we are back again. And I'm preparing the show right now. And what is left now is to present you the fifth voice. You will hear it as a duo with the first voice. I don't play all the five voices together because otherwise it will be too difficult to hear the new voice out of it. So the polyphonic pleasures will come later.
een teken van het vallen van de nacht. De hemel kleurt oranje, rood, blauw, paars. Zo groet de zon ons als zij ons verlaat. Een vogel roept de nacht ook tegemoet. Zij houdt veel van de gouden zonnegloed.
En kan je helpen als je ergens mee zit?
En ver van hier loopt ook nog een rivier. Die brengt zijn water kabbelend naar de zee. Daar is een andere wereld, vol vissen, schelp, koraal. Als het daar ook donker wordt, brengen zij hun verhaal. Van golven in het lichtspel, zeewieren in het zand. Want als de maan opkomt, vinden zij dat plezant. Slaap zacht,
Wanneer de maan schijnt in de nacht,
de golven springen weer. Hoor jij hun stemmen klinken op en neer, op en neer. Droom zoet, Kiran, ontspan en rust maar uit. Want soms komen je dromen ook echt uit.
Zelf te leren. Do you see that ray of light? She speaks to you in another tongue, a language only you can understand, filled with secrets that no one else knows. Carry on doing your thing with peace in your heart. You have heard her message well. This truly concerns no one but you, for what is learned when young will stay for life. Receive those words of light within and watch your passion come alive. It colors your life, it kindles your fire and help you through whenever life feels hard. What can you hear? Can you hear the water of that stream? Day and night it flows on still, until it reaches where it's meant to be, even when it seems impossible. If you find a little sign, my dearest child, leading to your bliss, nothing can take that light away. Treasure it gently and feel yourself smile. Just follow the trail, walk on with courage. You find your flow, you ride your wave. Yes, a different world will appear suddenly. It comes so naturally beneath the vault of heaven. The spectrum stretches wide for all that you can be. So, when the moon shines through the night, receive her gentle power to touch a dream so deep within, and here surpass all limits. Dream deeply, Kiran, and still you have so much time to try so many things and keep discovering the wonder of yourself. This is the voice of the goddess MACHA, which is another Irish myth. And as I said, it's a very strong woman. I have unfortunately no time left to tell you the story, but I will save it for another time. I will not even mention anything. You can find it, of course, yourself. Look it up, MACHA.
Thank you all. Please follow me at the social media, Nayara Homen. And thank you, Fiona, for the invitation. And thank you all, audience here. And I am looking for the next episodes of Not Art.